Hey, how you doing there, music community, vinyl community, Beatles community? It's Matt. I know I'm a little bit in the darkness here, but kind of on a special road trip today. I'm going, as you can see from the title, I'm heading to another record store, and this one's up towards Boston, Massachusetts. My last video, I was heading to another state capital area, which was Neighborhood Records over there in Riverside, Rhode Island, which wasn't too far from the capital of Rhode Island, Providence. And today I'm heading up towards Boston, capital of Massachusetts, to a town not too far outside of Boston. And as I'm heading up, saying, oh, I got to stop and do a quick intro video for what I'm doing today, I said, well, I'm going by it anyway. I might as well stop, and if you can see it behind me out the window here, that's why I'm a little dark, because I wanted you to be able to see what's behind me. That is the world-famous Gillette Stadium, home of the five-time world champion New England Patriots. Okay, there it is, right behind me here. It's on the way to the Boston area, and I thought I'd stop in and do my intro here to give you a little taste of a famous landmark up here in New England. Now, I know anyone who's west of the Connecticut River probably could give a hoot less about seeing Gillette Stadium behind me here. I understand that. I get it. I understand that you have to be pretty much from in the heart of New England or into the borders of New England to really truly appreciate and be a Patriots fan. I understand that. I understand all the people out there who do not like the Patriots, who can't stand Tom Brady, who thinks he's a little whiny diva and all that stuff, and Bill Belichick is a grump and a grouch, and I get it. I understand. However, I've been a long-time Patriots fan. It goes back to my childhood. I'm talking, I can remember when, this will date me a little bit for you real football fans out there when I say this name, but I remember and had a poster in my room of Jim Plunkett when he was the quarterback for the New England Patriots. So what does that tell you how long I've been a fan? If you can figure that out, when Jim Plunkett was the quarterback for the Patriots, then you'll know how far back that reference goes. I suffered all through the 70s with the Patriots, and they're, coming like this close to doing well in the playoffs. I think it was 78. And then coming into the 80s, they were horrible. And then they had that little spurt in the mid-80s, 85, 86, when they went to the Super Bowl and got crushed by the Chicago Bears. Who remembers that? But I remember those days when Steve Grogan and Tony Eason were the quarterbacks, and they came this close. They also came this close again a few years later when they played the Green Bay Packers in the late 90s with, I believe, Bill Parcells was the head coach. And they had some real lean years there in the 90s when they were like the dregs, 1-15 or 0-16 or whatever they were, but they were horrible, horrible. But I stuck with them. And then you all know the story when Robert Kraft got involved owning and Bill Belichick as coach. And Drew Bledsoe was a quarterback with Parcells, but then came over into the early 2000s, Bledsoe. And then, of course, Tom Brady, early 2000s, took over for Bledsoe, and the rest is history. And here we are on the cusp of another playoff run. And who knows, maybe a 6th Super Bowl title, but maybe not. I get it. So anyway, enough of the Patriots. But that's where I am, folks. I'm at Gillette Stadium as I head towards Boston. Now, where I'm going today is to Newbury Comics. I'll probably call it Newbury Records and Comics when I do the title of this video, because it's technically a record, music, CD store as well. But the main title is Newbury Comics. It's in a suburb of Boston, so it's outside the outskirts of Boston, not in Boston proper, but it's pretty darn close. And it's probably the last of the chain music stores in existence, at least up in our area here in the Northeast in New England. Like I said, we used to have tons of them. Tower Records, Strawberries Records and tapes, Coasters, Coconuts. There's a few more I can't even think of. And Newbury Comics was one of them that was in the game for a while too. All the others are gone, all by the wayside. All the large record chains, CD and tape stores are gone. What we have left now is the mom and pop places, which are wonderful. And I talk to, you see me do them in my videos. Neighborhood Records, great place, my most recent one. God bless these mom and pop record stores, because without them, where would we be? Because the only one left up in our area is Newbury Comics. They are a chain. I don't know if they stretch across the country or not, but they're definitely up here in the Northeast. And they've survived somehow, and hopefully they continue to survive. I think they've survived because they've adapted to the changing times. They added more toys, comics, pop culture gifts, and you know, clothing, Funko dolls, and anime, and they're like what the mom and pop places are doing today to survive. They're adding all these different features to their store to make it not just exclusively CDs and vinyl. They've added a lot to it, and they've survived. We'll see how long they do survive, but they're a pretty good chain of stores up here, Newbury Comics. I'll be heading to one just outside Boston today, and we'll make a check of it. I'm also going to be checking in on the Beatles channel and see if I can maintain my New Year's resolution for 2018 to be more positive, more upbeat about the Beatles channel, and not be so quick to get upset when I hear you know, those mundane common songs that they play over and over and over again. I'm going to try. All right, so before we head out on continue our journey, I'll try a quick one right now. What do you say? Okay, I'm going to stay positive. It's Let It Be, live in concert from Paul. That's different. Ooh. Well, okay. Maintain my Zen mode here. Be positive, Matt. Okay. Let It Be. One of the greatest songs ever written. I love it. I love Let It Be. I'm not ashamed to say the first time I ever saw Paul McCartney live in concert was on his 1990 World Tour, the Paul McCartney World Tour. I was in the third row center, right in front of Paul, and center stage. I've never been that close seeing him in concert since, although I've seen him many times. And when he got to the song Let It Be during that tour, I have to admit, I had tears in my eyes, and I was just blown away by being there in that moment and him singing Let It Be. It just got to me emotionally, I'm not ashamed to say. So Let It Be. Okay. Thank you, Beatles channel. Thank you, Beatles channel. Let It Be. Great song. Not one of my most favorite Beatles albums. I think, as I said in Joe's video I did not too long ago, my response to Joe was that it's probably my least favorite of the main releases of the Beatles. Not that I dislike it. I explained in that video quickly just that, you know, I think it was a little undercooked, that album. I think, you know, it was kind of like they half finished it. Phil Spector came in and threw his little magic dust all over it, and it is what it is. Not my favorite, probably my least favorite, but I still love every Beatles album. Okay, so that's it. Let's get going. Let's head up to Newbury Comics. Along the way, maybe I will maintain my positive outlook, and I will do a couple of more checks on the Beatles channel for you. Okay? I will try. Take care. Bye-bye. Well, hello there, music community, vinyl community, Beatles community. It's Matt. I'm on my journey here after I left the stadium. I'm on some back roads now. I'm trying to avoid some of the main thoroughfares. Can get kind of busy on some of these roads, and especially where this Newbury Comics record place is. It's on on a major road, not a highway, but I mean it's a 4-lane divided route. So I'm gonna take some back roads here and try to sneak around, and might have to go through some, looks like some pretty nice neighborhoods around here. I don't come up this way that often, so this isn't too familiar for me, but I got the GPS going and making my way there. So kind of a dreary day today, as you can see. It's I'm not complaining. We've gotten some rain today, actually, a little bit of drizzle, because the temperatures rose so much from the sub-zero we had last week to now this week, 30s, and then jumping up to the 40s, high 40s today. So we got a lot of melt going on. We got some drizzle, so it's a little bit miserable, but hey, I'll take it. I'll take it. Take this over the snow any day of the week. And it's not a total washout today, so it's fairly decent to be outside, just a light drizzle. So actually it looks like some sun is trying to peek through. So hey, while I'm doing this, let me check in with the Beatles channel, and I'm in my, I think I'm okay. I think I'm in my Zen mode, my New Year's resolution mode for 2018, to be kind to the Beatles channel, and that's what I will try to do. I think I'm doing pretty good so far. 2 videos. So far, so good. Here we go. Okay, yeah, that's the rare cut called the Long Winding Road. Oh, yeah, okay, calm down, Matt, calm down. Zen mode, Zen mode. Yeah, that was the very uncommon, unheard Long and Winding Road from Let It Be. Ooh. What can I say? It's a great song. That's it. That's it. No. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I've had enough. I can't take it. Uncle, I cry uncle. I cancel my New Year's resolution. Over. Done. That's it. Long and Winding Road. Are you kidding me? How many times do I have to hear that song? Oh my God, such a beautiful song too, I admit it. But I can't take it. The Beatles channel's got me on the ropes, and they're pounding me, and I can't take it. I can't do my rope-a-dope any longer. Oh my goodness. And I'm sure if I turn it on again, I'll hear a great Fab Four from Harriet from blankety blank Egypt telling me she wants to hear Let It Be, and while my guitar gently weeps, here comes the sun. Come together. Oh my God, help me. Help me, oh goodness me. I can't take it anymore. That's it, folks, I'm sorry. I can't do it. I can't, I tried, I really tried, but this Beatles channel, it's wearing me down. It's wearing me down. What am I gonna do? I swear. I swear they must have the red 62 to 66 album and the 67 to 70 blue album on a loop. On a tape loop. Oh, the tape loop from Hades. Oh, hi, I'm Roger from Minnesota, and I want to hear that rare Beatles song called Come Together. Ah! Okay, folks, I'm okay. I promise I'm okay. I hope nobody had to call 911 during my last segment and have them track my cell phone here to rescue me. I apologize for that. I lost it for a moment of craziness, funniness and craziness. Okay, I'm good. I'm good. Good to go. Good to go, folks. Don't worry about me. All right, we're coming around the corner here in Newbury Comics, because that's the whole point of this video. Visit to Newbury Comics and records and CDs and all that good stuff. You'll see it down here. It's a yellowish building with a red roof or red top. And you'll see the big sign, lit up tall sign that says buy one, get one 50% off on all graphic novels and manga, whatever the heck that is. And here it is on the right here, Newbury Comics. As I pull in the lot, you'll get to see an outer view of it. A wicked good time. Yeah, let's hope so. A wicked good time. Okay, folks, I'll be going in. Bye.
but not tonight. Wrong and I'm right. Oh yeah, I heard what you said. Oh yeah, I fucked up again. No surprise. Know how friends in the lies. Oh yeah, they did it again. Oh yeah, they got in your head just right. Know how. 'Cause even when I say we're through, I always let you spend the night. Leaving in the moment soon, I'll be drowned to the other side. But not tonight. I got a feeling that you got me figured out. This time I ain't pretending. No, you're crying now. 'Cause even when I say we're through, I always let you spend the night. Even in the moment soon, I'll be across to the other side. But not tonight. But not tonight. But not tonight. But not tonight.
Never.
Hey everybody. Well, as nighttime falls here upon the winter throes of New England, I'm heading home. I have a few goodies from Newbury Comics, and I'm kind of tired right now between flipping through all the records and looking at all the goodies and all the stuff and driving because it's not right in my backyard. Like I said, it's near Boston, just outside Boston, and so the driving and the weather, and then I have my little meltdown there in the middle of this video. So anyway, I'm pooped and it's dark, so I'm not going to pull over and show what goodies I got. I think I'm going to wait, and I will do a special video at home down in the old music area, I'll show you all the goodies I got. I didn't get too much. Like I said, Newbury Comics, if you got an idea from me panning and scanning a little bit, you could spend a fortune there. There's just tons of stuff, tons of vinyl. I went through the Beatles section. I went through John, Paul, and George's section. I totally slipped Ringo. I didn't even go through Ringo's section. I was going through the Kinks. You might have saw that one. I think I did Elvis for you too. So many I could have done. I went through Cheap Trick. I looked at some David Bowie. I mean, I went all over, but I went through some, you know, the new bin, the new arrivals bin. And I'm sorry, there was so many different bins I went through. I couldn't film them all. I apologize. But I got a few. I got the Beatles. I got some of the solo Beatles and Elvis and the Kinks for you, just to get a flavor of the wide variety of stuff they have for each artist. As you could see, there's tons of stuff, you know, for each person, each artist I looked at. So anyway, I'm waiting here at a red light and heading home, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye. Hey, how you doing, music community, vinyl community, and anyone else watching this? Beatles community. It's Matt, and I'm back to do my closeout, I guess, of my video today with my trip to Newbury Comics, which was up near the Boston area. So I wanted to show you what I retrieved at Newbury Comics. I only got 4 things, actually, but I'm going to talk about that in a minute and show you those things. But the first thing I want to show you was this. This is a cool little piece I got. Look at the quality of this Santana album. Beautiful, mint condition Santana. Here's the inner gate. It's like the thing still creaks when you open it practically. It's so in pristine mint condition. Original pressing from, boy, maybe someone can help me. I'm not sure when this album was officially released. Here's the inner sleeve. I'm going to tell you the story and why I'm doing this first. I did not get this at Newbury Comics. I got this self-titled Santana album from an acquaintance of mine just a little while ago. Look at this thing. It's like never been played. Again, I'm a fan of Santana. I'm not like a fanatic when it comes to Santana, but I do like their music, and I have a couple of their other albums. I'll put it away later. It's the interest of time. But to have this album in such mint, pristine condition, like it's never been played, and the gentleman who gave it to me, his name was Ron, just gave it to me because he knew I was into vinyl, and basically he said that he thinks he might have played it once or twice and taped it to put it on a cassette, but he doesn't think he's ever played it since. And it's like, I think the album's from the late 60s or early 70s. Maybe someone can help me with that. I didn't do any research before this little roundup video, but pretty cool. What happened is a couple of times a week I take my dad to a local senior center, which is not too far from where we live, kind of to get him out socializing a little bit, meeting people, having a cup of coffee and a little breakfast and stuff. And we meet some nice people when we go to these senior centers. It's not all people who are like 70 or 65 and older. There are some younger people that come to the different breakfast and meals they have. When they do like coffee and donut days, you'll get some older people and you get some younger people, middle-aged people that spend time at the senior center. And so Ron's probably a little older than me. He's probably in his early 60s. And so he'd be from, you know, this era. And, you know, when you're sitting around having coffee and a piece of pastry or a sandwich or something, you get talking about stuff. They have a morning thing called men's coffee where just the guys go and sit and have coffee and pastry and whatnot. My dad and I really enjoy that. But anyway, so I met this Ron at the senior center. And when I told him what a big fan I was of vinyl, and we got talking about music and records and whatnot, he said, hey, I think I have some albums at home. Maybe I'll bring a couple in for you. And I said, gee, what can I give you? And he said, nothing. I'm just happy if you're into vinyl and you'll get better use out of it than I will, then I'd rather just give it to you and let you enjoy it. And I said, wow, that's so nice of you. So that's what he did today with this one, with this Santana self-titled album. It's in beautiful mint condition. So I'm probably going to do something a little nice for Ron, though. But Ron doesn't watch my channel, so he won't see this. But I'm going to do something a little nice for him to thank him for that Santana album. Okay, now on to Newbury Comics. Again, Newbury Comics, one of the last of the big chains up in the Northeast, especially in New England. All the old ones are pretty much dead and gone, and we've talked about, you saw my other videos, I hope, about Neighborhood Records and Sunset Records and Revolution Records. You know, those are the little mom and pop places that are keeping vinyl and CDs and music alive, especially for people in the music community like us. Without the mom and pop places, forget it. Where would we be? We'd be all ordering online, which is so impersonal and so cold when you think about it. It's so nice to go to a place and actually meet people and get to know people and meet other collectors and hang out with them and whatnot. So I love going to those places. But again, getting back to what I'm saying, with Newbury Comics, the one I went to today, it's one of the last of the big chains. And I think, like I say, because they've adapted, they found a way to incorporate music, vinyl, CDs, comic stuff, toys, t-shirts, music memorabilia, pop culture memorabilia, and they combine it all in this one big package in these big stores, and it seems to draw in people. People are, you know, are drawn to this stuff, so I think that's what's helped them survive. And so they're one of the last of the Mohegans, so to speak, and hopefully they'll be around for a long time. So I did go there today, and I picked up 4 items from Newbury Comics. Okay, now the first item I want to show you is this one here. This is Elvis's Gold Records Volume 5, in really good shape. And boy, I only paid a couple of bucks for this thing, folks. And I know it's not the most collectible Elvis album, but it has a special meaning for me because when the advent of CDs happened and I was just getting into Elvis, you know, back in the 80s, I think I told you some of my past Elvis videos, how I was aware of him during the 70s, but it wasn't until like the 80s and coming into the 90s that I really got into Elvis and really started to appreciate and understand who he was and how important he is and how much I love his music and love the man and think he had a great way about him. And I think he had a good heart. I think deep down when you peel away all the layers and stuff, Elvis had a good heart. He was a good person. So anyway, I'm a fan. I'm a big fan of Elvis. This album, which here's the vinyl, was the first. I bought this on CD back in the 80s. When CDs were first coming out and this first came out, this was the first Elvis album I bought on CD. Gold Records Volume 5. And I've never had the vinyl. And when I saw it at Newbury Comics today, I said I have to grab it. So I did. And it's got a plain label, on a plain sleeve, I should say. And it's on the black RCA label. Okay. But it's in mint condition. And like I say, that CD has special meaning for me because it was the first Elvis CD I ever bought. So I'm happy to have it on vinyl. And for you Elvis fans, I picked up my number 2 grab today at Newbury Comics was Clambake. Elvis's Clambake album. Pretty good shape. The cover's not in bad shape. There's a little bit of crud on the back cover here, but not too bad. I can live with it. I'm just happy to have it. This was an album I never would have thought I ever would have bought of Elvis's. I just, you know, the silly movie, you know, which I do like his movies, believe it or not. They kind of, you know, they're kind of fun and relax you and bring you back to a more innocent time in life and stuff. So I have to admit, I do enjoy Elvis's movies for the most part. But I never would have thought I would have bought this as an album or a CD or anything. But just hearing so many people in the vinyl community and music community talk about it and say how they were fans of this album that has a good track listing, I said, I've got to check it out. So I went on Spotify, I checked it out. Lo and behold, I loved it. I thought it was a great little album. I said, I've got to get this. So they had it at Newbury Comics. Short money again, only a few bucks. And it's not an original pressing. That's no problem. That I'm not, you know, looking for original pressings, or I'm not that fanatical about it. It has to be an original. So based on what other people have told me here in the VC, like Ed from the King's Court, telling me about other albums I've found, and with this inner sleeve, I'm sure this is a late 70s pressing as well, based on the label and everything. But that's fine. It's a later pressing, And as I say, there's no barcode on it or anything, so it's got to be from late, 70s at some time, this pressing, but that's fine. I'm happy with it. So Elvis Clambake. Okay, number 3, and I was really happy to get this. Can you see that good? I don't want to. The Beatles Love Songs from 1977. And you Beatle fans must be saying, what? Matt, you don't have the Beatles Love Songs? Yes, I do. I have the Beatles Love Songs. I bought it the day it came out back in 1977. Here's the Richard Avedon inner sleeve picture. A gatefold picture, I should say. Yes, I did buy this right away when it first came out. Trying to fix the glare here for you. I love this album. I know some people do criticize a little bit about the post-breakup albums released by Capitol and Apple, the Beatles, but this is one I happen to really like, folks. As you know, after the Beatles broke up, we had 62 to 66, 67 to 70, The Red and the Blue, which is great best of album set to have. And then in 76, Rock and Roll Music came out with the great single, Got to Get You Into My Life, which made top 10 in the top 40, which was phenomenal. And then a year later in 77, not only did they release Live at the Hollywood Bowl, but they released Love Songs. And this is when people started to kind of slam the post-breakup releases a little bit, and they certainly got pretty bad in the early 80s with the movie Songs album there and 20 Greatest Hits, and some of those were kind of cash cows in my opinion. But for some reason, this one has always had a soft place in my heart. I like this album. I enjoy it. I think the track listing was great. I don't know how good you're going to see that, but I think the track listing's great. I love the whole idea of the faux leather with the gold embossed logo there of the Beatles Love Songs with the Richard Avedon image. And I had to grab this one, folks, because mine's in pretty good shape, but, as a teenager playing it and whatnot, it's from 77, it's a little beat up. And there's some wear on it, and you can see ring wear, and the gold foil here is kind of beat up on mine and stuff. But this one's in like pristine mint condition. Really great condition. The inner sleeves are in great shape. I'll show you one of the vinyl albums. It's like beautiful, like it's never been played. I mean, mint condition. I always like the special label they put on the Love Songs album. Really nice. Just really classy. I always love the antique looking inner sleeves with the design on it, and then you've got a beautiful, almost like antique looking book on the inside with like lyrics written out, like If I Fell and all the songs. It's a beautiful little booklet to have. It's just such a nice packaging setup with the Love Songs album. I've always loved it, always felt it was great, and as I said, mine was a little beat up. So when I saw this one, and this was cheap, dirt cheap at Newbury Comics, I gotta tell you that I grabbed it. I'm gonna store it with the albums outside the cover and just keep it in a nice plastic container and cherish it and keep it in pristine condition. Okay, that's Love Songs. Now my last one today, I want to get this video going here. I found this at Newbury Comics. The Best of Buddy Holly on the Coral Records label. It's a deluxe 2-record set, enhanced for stereo. But look at that beautiful cover, Buddy. And it's in really good shape. I mean, look at that. That's nice. I'm a Buddy fan. There he is right behind me. He's always right over my shoulder. I love this. That is just fabulous. Back cover's got a little bit of dirt marks on it and stuff, but nothing I don't think I'll be able to clean up. Here's a track listing. Buddy Holly, the best of. Came out on Coral, post Buddy's passing, obviously. Has a little gatefold with some inner liner notes. Here's page 1. There's only a couple of pages, and then page 2 looks like this. Some more nice pictures of Buddy. And then it shows the post plane crash releases right here, folks. Although it does show his final album released in his lifetime, the Buddy Holly album. But then all these here were released by Coral, by Norman Petty after Buddy's passing right here. And I have pretty much all of these now. I'm trying to collect all the Buddy Holly albums I can, but I didn't have this one. This one came out about 1966, I want to say, about 7 years after Buddy died in the plane crash. And they took kind of the best of all the albums and put them onto this 1 2-record set. Now, I don't know exactly what I have here. I think this is definitely the original cover, as you can see. But then the albums, I'll only show you one of them. They're both in the same setup here. They come in these black MCA sleeves. Now, I know Coral was a subsidiary of MCA in some way. So I don't know if these were put on the albums after, because the label is Coral. It looks like the original Coral label to me that these Buddy Holly records are on. And the records are in beautiful shape, as you can see. So I'm assuming I have original vinyl. I definitely believe I have an original cover on the Best of Buddy Holly. And as I say, I believe the vinyl's original. But the thing that makes me curious is these MCA sleeves. I mean, could these have been sleeves that came with that album originally? I don't know. I am happy to have the album. I think it's a great one to have. I'm pleased to have found it. And it wasn't that expensive at all. It was the most expensive out of the 4 I got at Newbury Comics, but not too bad at all. So if anyone has any info as to why I would have those black MCA inner sleeves, please let me know. I'm not sure. I mean, I believe the cover's original. I believe my albums are original. Those sleeves just made me think, like, why are they here? I would think they'd be plain white or something. But anyway, on the Coral label, the albums are Coral, and the cover is definitely an original cover, as I say. So there you go. So there's my 4 albums I got at Newbury Comics, one of the last of the big chain music and pop culture stores in the Northeast. I hope you enjoyed my little visit to Newbury Comics. And in closing, I just want to say today, I hope you all understand, most of you that think, have a good sense of who I am and know me, know that I've had a little fun the last couple of videos with the Beatles channel, especially in today's. And I just want you all to know, I hope you know deep down that my thoughts on the Beatles channel are probably somewhere in the middle of both extremes. Okay, because let's face it, I kind of showed both extremes in today's video. You had the nice good cop, bad cop routine, so to speak. The nice Matt praising and being positive and upbeat with the Beatles channel in my video to Neighborhood Records, and then the first part of today's video. And then you had the bad cop scenario, grouchy Matt throwing a little bit of a tantrum there in the latter part of today's video when I was like frustrated with the channel and I broke my New Year's Eve resolution. Well, I want you to know that if you know me, you know that I have a crazy sense of humor, a silly sense of humor. Sometimes I can get a little goofy, and I think you all know not to take me too seriously, that my thoughts on the Beatles channel are probably somewhere in the middle. I like it. I love having it. It's great to have 24/7 Beatles music. If I get tired of hearing certain songs, I jump to other channels. But I always come back to the Beatles channel. It's always something that I do enjoy, and I do hit the nuggets now and again. So don't take me too serious, folks. I had a little fun today. I hope you enjoyed it and got a chuckle out of it. And that's what it's all about, making people smile and laugh a little bit and giving some good information out there. So all the best to you. God bless. Thanks for watching, as always. I hope you enjoyed today's fun video, and talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.